Come on! Woo! Sure, it's a beer, but it's also silver afternoon.
Hello. Doing music was a lot easier in the 19th century when there wasn't any electricity.
Yeah,
all these complications and wires. I'm continually getting my feet caught up in the loops, tripping and ripping out the sound.
I didn't realize you'd been active that long. What was it like in the 19th century for a queer country
shut
band?
The fuck up. It's not that bad. It's pretty bad, though.
No, you're actually Patrick Haggerty of Lavender Country, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
A living legend.
All the way from the Neolithic.
And here we are, breathing the same air once again.
I have to pull myself together.
Yeah.
But so what do you got me up here for?
Well, I just wanted to, you're here for educational purposes right now. For those that you don't know, it's still relatively young in the career for Lavender Country. But I think you guys are going to go places. What, 1970...
Girlfriend, I've been around the block a couple of times.
The eponymous Lavender Country LP from 1970 in the last handful of years got put in the Country Music Hall of Fame. That's a big deal.
I snuck in the back door, trust me.
And so in the time since, you've gone on some really incredible adventures regionally. Your message has gotten out to the greater world, an audience that had no way to even know about you when you first started has caught on to your legendary status.
Yeah.
Is that it's a YouTube thing?
It's a YouTube. Well, there's a story behind it. Next year is the 50th year of Lavender Country's coming out. 50 years, so
50.
50 since we made the album. God, I can't believe I'm saying that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy. 50 years.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the first 30 years.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, so I made Lavender Country, and I had to make a decision whether to go to Nashville and stay in the closet and try and do something as a country singer, or whether to be a screaming Marxist bitch. And you couldn't do both in 1973. You couldn't go to Nashville and do queer country and be a screaming Marxist bitch and get away with anything. So the choice was really stark at that time. Like, I had to choose one or the other, and I couldn't have both. And I did choose, and I didn't regret my choice. But the real consequence of my choice was that nobody would be seen with me for the first 30 years.
Jeez.
That's the truth. Nobody would be seen with me. Nobody would play with me. I had to give up music because nobody wanted to do music with me. And I went on into my life, and I had a very nice life without Lavender Country. I had a very interesting, fulfilling, active, wonderful life without Lavender Country. So...
yeah, you and your husband were like really really involved with the ACT UP movement.
We did ACT UP together a lot.
Which for those who don't know, can you just, in a nutshell, what is
ACT
ACT
UP was the radical end of the fight against AIDS. And we would ACT UP around the country were the rebel rousers, which I've always been. That didn't change. We got the needle exchange started in Seattle. Back when the health department was too scared to do it, and we were afraid the police were going to beat us up and shit like that.
Yeah.
But they never had enough nerve. And all manner of other things in ACT UP. And my husband was very much a participant in that with me. My husband works nights as my merch girl.
Right over there.
He's that pretty black man over there. Yeah. I'm going to bring him up a little bit later. But no, for the first 30 years, Lavender Country was dead. Let me tell you how dead.
Yeah.
In 1987, when I met my husband, I lived with him and slept with him and worked with him for 3 years before he even knew that I made Lavender Country. And somebody else had to tell him. It was like dead. It's like not on the radar screen.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to understand that piece of the history was that Lavender Country was too radical for practically everybody when we made it. But in their intervening 40 years, people caught on. They probably finally got over the song that nobody says the title to and realized that there was guts in Lavender Country and that it was saying something. But for the first 30 years, all they could hear was, the cocksucking tears song.
Yeah. Maybe they look at the record and assume it's a novelty act or something because why?
Yeah, they thought I was a freak show. Fuck you, man. I am not a freak show.
Yeah. Were you aware of any closeted country acts at the time or in around the same era?
Well, listen, the country music is full of queers.
Right.
And it has been all along. And some of them were...
buddies in the saddle, right?
They had to stay hidden in order to have a career. And I came out and nobody would touch me for 30 years. So that's what it was like. I mean, if you wanted to do country music, you couldn't be a queer. You certainly couldn't be an out queer, and you certainly couldn't be a screaming Marxist bitch queer. It was taboo. So, and there were many queer artists before, during, and after me who were forced to stay in the closet. And that's not a statement about them. It's what they had to do to have a career. It's a statement about corporate Nashville and how fucked up in the head they are.
Yeah.
That's what it's a statement about. So those folks were forced into the closet for like a century or more. But we've always been there.
So what was that like when the Country Music Hall of Fame got in touch with you or did they get in touch with you or did you read about it in the newspaper? How did that even come about? Because it sure as hell is a really important album and it's iconic. It's anyone here familiar with the Lavender Country first record? Yeah. It's
some people are.
There's nothing like it.
Well, queer country has turned into a thing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of gay country artists now. But I was the only one for a long time who was like visible. Mm-hmm. The Hall of Fame thing happened like this. A woman named Chrissy Dickinson, who recently just turned into an ancestor, God love her, She was the editor of the house organ for the Country Music Hall of Fame, and she decided she wanted to do an article on the history of gay people in country music, and discovered that I was, first one up. So she wrote an article about a lot of us and spent a lot of time in the article talking about me. And that was what happened because she invited me to archive Lavender Country in the Hall of Fame. But about 5 months after the article came out, she got fired. Yeah.
Wow.
She got fired. And so did the guy who was working with her. And of course, we all know why, and they gave her some bullshit excuse. But it was because she wrote the article. And corporate closet cases in Nashville are really vicious.
I bet.
And
Yeah.
they get very uptight and they get very threatened. And one of them fired her, pretending like he wasn't gay, but everybody knew he was. So that's what happened. But Lavender Country went to sleep again after that little blip on the radar screen. Here's what happened. In 2004 or 5, I moved to Bremerton because my husband was working in the shipyard, and I hooked up with a blues player, harp blues player from South Chicago, and we embarked on a career singing old covers to old people in retirement centers and rehab centers and nursing homes. And I was thrilled because I was finally far enough away from Lavender Country, and of course none of those people knew anything about me.
Right.
So I could hey, great, I can sing again. Thank God. So I was doing that, and somebody put Cocksucking Tears on YouTube, and I didn't know that because I didn't know what YouTube was. And a music aficionado who was interested in Americana music heard it on YouTube and said, "What is this?" and went to eBay and found one of my original albums from 1973 and bought it and played it. And he had enough sense to realize its significance, if you want to call it that.
I do.
And, well, okay, you can call it that. You can call it that.
Thank you.
He realized its historical significance. And he took it to a label in North Carolina, not a gay label, run by two straight guys in North Carolina who were specializing in unheard Americana, and said, "Don't you want this?" And they grabbed it. And the first thing that I knew, anything at all, was moving around Lavender Country. I didn't cause it to come back.
Yeah.
I was doing something completely different. And the first piece of news that I got was a label calling me up, offering me a record contract.
Yeah.
That's bizarre, right?
Did that smell fishy to you?
That doesn't happen. Nobody gets a record contract out of the blue, but I did.
Especially, that's very out of the blue.
It's very out of
That's
the blue.
like half
yeah.
your life away.
I didn't even believe him till he sent me an advance check for $300.
You still got that check?
Oh, no, I cashed it.
Yeah, good.
But I went to the credit union to cash the check, and I still wasn't believing this guy. I thought he was somebody generated a computer list of everybody who ever made an album.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing out of his mouth was, after we want to reissue Lavender Countries, just send us $10,000 and we'll reissue your album. I knew that's what was going on. I went to the credit union and I gave it to a friend who worked there, and I said, You have to check this out because this is almost certainly a rubber check. And she came back with $300 in cash and said, the check's not rubber, it's good. And this part's hard. I went out into the car and it hit me, right?
Yeah.
And I went, oh my God, somebody thinks Lavender Country is worth $300. Oh my God, oh my God. And 35 years worth of I don't care and it's all right and let Lavender Country die and I'm going to have a nice life, and it's stuffing those feelings just burst forth. I turned into a quivering puddle of muck, just bawling my eyes out because somebody thought Lavender Country was worth $300.
Yeah. So it's like that kid inside you that made the record woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So that's what happened when Lavender Country got rediscovered, and then it's just been a rocket ship ever since.
Yeah, how's it feel to be back? Today. How's it feel today?
How does it feel today?
Yeah. Let's start there.
That's a two-sided question.
Okay.
The music industry, the corporate capitalist music industry, is completely fucked up. Y'all know that. Everybody in the industry knows how fucked up it is. All the stars know how fucked up it is. And it's like this. If you are beautiful enough and fuck the right people and are talented enough and are in the right place at the right time, maybe you have a 1 in a million chance of being acknowledged. And that means we'll turn you into a star. And that means we'll lay a whole bunch of shit on you that's not true, that has nothing to do with who you really are. And you can get up there and fake like you're a star until you believe it. And then you'll be able to escape the working class and have a mansion on the hill. And be somebody who's not working class. Wouldn't that be wonderful? That's what it's like. Fuck that! Okay, fuck that. I don't need that. I don't want that. I walked away from Nashville in 1973 because I knew it was a mess. And it is. And the more Lavender Country gets acknowledged, the more you're an icon. You're an elder. You're a star. You're all these.
You're just getting started. What the hell are these people talking about?
Well, here's the real truth. I'm just two-person. I'm just a person with two eyeballs and a butthole like everybody else in the audience, right? That's who I am, and that's who I've always been, and that's who my husband knows me to be. Trust me. He doesn't do this star thing. He has a much more measured view about who I actually am. And so does my family, and so do my old friends. So why do I go on if I don't need any of that shit?
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, that's the question to ask.
Right.
I wrote Lavender Country as an out-screaming Marxist bitch for it to be a vehicle for revolutionary social change. That's why I wrote it. And yes, I made that decision in 1973 that I was going to do that. And the magic of what's happened in Lavender Country is that 50 years later, I get to use Lavender Country for the exact reason that I made it in the first place. I get to use it as a vehicle for social change. I've been a Marxist activist my entire life. And I've been presented with this incredible opportunity. Instead of talking to 10 people and running 50 leaflets to do a program, I'm, talking to thousands of people and getting out the revolutionary message. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. That's who I'm going to continue to be. And I have this amazing opportunity to get out a revolutionary message to thousands of people. I have a son. Of course, I love my son dearly.
Yeah.
He's a Marxist. He's such a Marxist that he moved to Havana, and he lives there now. And he said something that encapsulated it for me. He said, "You've been handed this incredible opportunity to get out a revolutionary message after spending your whole life doing that activity. Now you've been handed this golden opportunity on a silver platter. You have to take advantage of this. You have a revolutionary responsibility to take this as far as you can take it." Patrick, he calls me Patrick. He doesn't call me Dad. He calls me Patrick. He said, "Patrick, if you don't take advantage of this opportunity, you're going to go to revolutionary hell."
Ooh. That's
So
that's a strong caveat there.
yeah. But that's my heart, and it's where I live, and it's what I'm doing. And the opportunities have been incredible. I mean, I've been across the country 5 or 6 times doing Lavender country shows. I have a new album. 50 years later, we made a new album.
Yeah.
Blackberry Rose.
Right over there. Yeah. It's a great record.
Not one, but like 10 documentaries have been made about me. There's
Guilty.
You're one of them. But that's absurd, right? Who gets 10 documentaries? It's ridiculous. But that's what happened. There's even a script running around Hollywood right now to make a full feature-length movie about Lavender Country, the Lavender Country
Also
story.
guilty. No, that wasn't me.
We'll see if it actually gets made, but
I want to see that.
there's a director and some producers who are schlocking it around Hollywood trying to get somebody to give them some money. So that might happen.
Hey.
We should shut down and start doing a show, but I have to tell you the best thing that ever happened with the Lavender Country story. I did a show in San Francisco about 6 years ago. And after the morning after the show, I was back home, and my telephone rang, and this guy said, "Hello, my name is Robert Deckers, and I was at your show last night." I said, "Oh, well, I hope you liked the show." He said, "I did. I'm the director of a ballet company, post-ballet company, and I've been up all night, and I've got it all choreographed in my mind, and I want to do a Lavender Country ballet." You're fucking crazy, man. You're going to do a ballet of radical country music, queer country music. You're going to do a ballet.
That sounds like the right idea.
I said, you're out of your mind. And he said, "Well, I can understand why you think so, but I know what I'm doing, and I need your permission to do a Lavender Country ballet." I said, "Well, I can't stop you.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead if that's what you think you can do."
I like that attitude. Yeah.
He called me up here's the kicker. He called me up a month and a half later and said, "We were going to do the ballet to the original recording, but we've changed our mind, and we want you to come down and sing the ballet while the dancers are dancing. Come down and sing the ballet." buddy, now you have lost your mind. I've never been to a fucking ballet in my life, and you want me to come and sing a ballet? I can't do that. That's so out of my league, it's absurd. And he said, no, come on down. I'll show you what you need to know. And I went down to San Francisco and rehearsed with the dancers for a week, and we put on the ballet, and then we put it on again, and then we put it on again, and then we put it on again, and we've done the ballet 5 times, and we might do it again this fall.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, who gets a ballet made of their... Dolly Parton doesn't even have a ballet made out of her...
Nope.
It's just incredible artistic experience.
Last time we spoke, didn't you dressed up as a ballerina when you were a kid, right?
I did.
Yeah. So it's kind of a full circle situation, right?
Hey, my dad said I could.
Yeah. If you want that story, check out the low profile episode we did a while back.
On the Lavender Country album, there's a booklet. And on the back page of the booklet, there's a picture of me when I'm 13 years old in a ballerina outfit.
I see somebody pulling it out right now. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
It's me in a ballerina outfit on Whidbey Island at the 4-H camp. I had great legs. No wonder I was throwing bales for a living for 5 years before I hit the ballerina outfit. That's why I had great legs.
Still got them, too, I see.
Well, they're still attached.
Yeah.
So,
Patrick, before you get to work here, do you have anything you'd like to say about the upcoming record?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This
Third album.
This is fun, and then I'm going to shut up. But I really wanted to tell you about this project that I'm working on. There's a guy in Chicago, and his name is Andrew Saw, S-A, Andrew Saw. And Andrew does gay country. And Andrew is an impeccable artist, vocalist. And he's also young and gorgeous and studly and all that shit. And I've been working with Andrew for a few years. And we discovered a couple years ago that we both had a love for early female country. And one thing led to another, and now Andrew and I are in the process of making an album that is a tribute to Patsy and Loretta.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that's going to be so fun. And I get to sing "You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man." I'm really excited about that.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
So that's a project in the works that I'm very, very excited about, and I hope it comes to fruition. I'm going to Chicago in 2 weeks to lay down the first 6 tracks. So,
My man.
I'm on the way.
All
Patsy and Loretta. Yeah.
Killer. All right. Well.
Oh, I can do Patsy. Trust me.
Are you going to show us today?
I might show you one
Okay.
Patsy. Yeah. We'll see what I'm able to pull out of my butt. But hey, let's do some music.
Let's do it.
Did you get out of me what you were after?
I think we're quite satisfied.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's.
Can't wait to hear
Thank
the
you
band.
all. That's a little Lavender Country rap, and now we're gonna do some songs.
Love you, Patrick. Thank you.
I love you too.